The world's quite a dark place at the moment. A lot of division, a lot of conflict, so it's nice to find something about someone who is genuinely happy. And what makes people happier than being completely in love? Although in this case, I suspect it's not being reciprocated. Unrequited, as it were, because a 30-year-old German woman called Michelle says that she is in a loving and physical relationship with what she refers to as her darling. Now, how can I describe what she describes as him? He looks very plain, extremely plain. That's because her darling is a plane. This woman is in love with a Boeing 737-800 airliner. Now, she has a psychological condition called objectophilia, meaning that she's sexually attracted to what most of us would find bizarre objects. Although, if you've got a condition with philia on the end of it, it could have been a lot worse. Pedo and necrophilia, they're both a lot worse. But she's known for many years that she's aroused by aircraft, but it wasn't until she took a flight on this particular Boeing 737-800 she knew she had found the one. And this woman, apparently of sound mind and body, wishes to marry this aeroplane and live with him as his wife in its hangar. She admits there are a few limitations to their ongoing relationship, such as if she wants to spend any time with him, she has to book a ticket and take a flight, although she said one time she got to spend time alone in the hangar with her darling. I'm really hoping she's omitting something from that story. I'm hoping the way it goes is she was alone in the hangar and was then swiftly tackled to the ground by security personnel, because she sounds harmless if a bit unhinged, so she probably shouldn't be around an unguarded aircraft. But Michelle goes on to explain that her relationship's quite normal. She has a 4-foot fiberglass replica of her darling 737 at her home that she watches television with and sleeps with, and also has some of the plane's components so that they can be intimate. Now, first off, I really hope she's got these second-hand parts off an aircraft technician and not removed them herself. Because if you've got a car and the rear windscreen wiper stops working, it's not really a big deal. If you're on a plane and one of the components suddenly goes missing, that's a fucking issue. But more than that, I've never before had to consider that out there in the world there is someone masturbating furiously with part of an aeroplane, chilling it off with an altimeter. And she says the most attractive part of her darling 737 are the winglets, the upturned bits on the end of the wings. Now, with the best will in the world, love, you're never fitting them up yourself. But the media company that wrote this story arranged for her to go to a hangar to be with another 737-800, and she's actually crying because she's so happy and kissing this aircraft. Well, that got me thinking, hang on, that's not your darling, but you're still kissing it. Anything with fucking wings in it with you, you slag! And it's at that point the story became somewhat personal for me, because looking at the aircraft, I had a look at the tail fin and the registration number, and I thought, I know that plane from somewhere. And I do, because that's the plane I flew back from Sweden on last week. And the pictures were taken just a few days before, and now that flight feels a bit dirty. Because when I was on that plane, having my tea and coffee, just a few days beforehand, some mad German bint was walking around it with an increasingly moist gusset. But there you go, apparently there are people who get turned on by aeroplanes. Now, I like flying and I'm interested in aircraft. Now, the nicest plane I've been on was the Airbus A380 that I flew to San Francisco on, but at no point in that flight did I think, this plane's really nice. I wish I could fuck it.